Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. Any position works. You can be lying down, you can be sitting on the floor. Just do what works for you. The goal here is sturdiness. You want to feel like you have a sense of uprightness and stability. We also don't want to feel like you have to shift and move, so comfortability is also important. Just find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. However, if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed, feel free to do so. There are no hindrances here. But if your eyes are open, go ahead and just drop them away from the screen. We look at them too much anyway. Just drop them down below you, kind of looking at the floor, the desk, or whatever's just below you. We're not staring or analyzing anything, but we're also not zoned out and blurry. We just have a nice, gentle, clear gaze directed softly downwards. You're in a nice, comfortable position, a sturdy, comfortable position. Your eyes are either closed or open, if so, directed downwards. What is here right now? And there are no problems to be solved. There are no tasks to accomplish. No burdens to alleviate. No person to become. What's left? Now, this isn't a question for you to think about, to contemplate. This question is a signpost, pointing to something in your experience right now, which is alive and present before thinking arises. It points to a part of your experience that you always have had. And it's a pity to use those words. So I'll ask again, what is here when there are no problems to be solved? Wherever this takes you, stay and completely rest. And for many of you, this question is confusing and it's unhelpful. And it's probably because you're trying to think about it. You're trying to think of where to go. Trying to think of what this means. Trying to create some sort of experience. So it may be useful to just, instead of going straight to the point, we go kind of an about way by beginning with leaving our thoughts alone. Because thinking will never stop. It happens by itself. And if we don't learn to just leave it alone, we'll never see what reality is from our perspective. So bring your attention to the lower belly, below the belly button and above the groin. And just notice this area here. You don't need to think about it. But there's a movement going on in the lower belly, created by the coming and going of breathing, which happens naturally. Your task is simple. Stay with the breath here. Don't get lost in some thought or plan or worry or TV show or whatever it is that you're thinking about. Just stay with breathing and allow your thoughts to run amok. Go with it. Don't control anything. Just remain gently with the breath in the lower belly. And I'm probably catching you thinking about something right now. And that's okay. When you notice that you're lost in thought, simply return to the lower belly. Not forcing or pushing away thoughts, and not focusing or concentrating on the breath. Just the general light return to breathing, which is already noticed. Wake up. Wake up from thinking. Return to breathing. Come back. Come back to breathing. What notices the breath? What sits here? Is there a center to experience? Or is this experience centerless? All right, you can look at the screen. How many of you are control freaks? Or maybe I'll make a statement instead of a question. I have a feeling, even if you don't call yourself a control freak, you probably are. Or maybe I'm just projecting. Because it seems to me most of us spend our time trying to control our experience, running away from the uncomfortable and moving towards the comfortable constantly. When things out of our control happen, which they do, it becomes a crisis. And the truth is, very little is in our control. Very little. But this mind thinking is so worried, so anxious, so wanting to control situations because that's good for our survival in nature. But now that we're in these civilized worlds, we don't need it. Not as much. So the thinking, anxiety, and the processes of control is ruining us, making us unhappy. There's a great line in the Tao Te Ching, and it says simply, have faith in the way things are. In other words, accept what is. Now, of course, this doesn't mean don't make your life better or become healthy or start a meditation practice, but it does mean there's nothing much you can do ultimately. You're going to die. And we don't have to say boo-hoo about that. But we can learn to let go of our sense of control. So whatever you do today, when you feel this sense of suffering, the sense of unsatisfactoriness and frustration or whatever it is, just stop for a second and see. Just check in. Is my mind trying to control this? And if it is, let it go. And then you'll see the mind will start trying to control something else. I see that. Let it go. It's a practice, though. Don't try to be perfect. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for showing up for your life. And of course, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow.